Hello once again to the three people watching my channel. Today I'm testing Call of Duty Ghosts on real hardware on the 360. I guess this will be the last video since I already tested all classic Call of Duty games, maybe except Black Ops 2, which unfortunately is unplayable on the 360 due to hackers. I mean, you can still play Zombies mod and find players here and there, but for the multiplayer that game is unfortunately dead. Now, many people, including myself, believe that Code Ghosts was the last classic Call of Duty game in terms of gameplay and realism, and I know maybe some will disagree with me, but this game had the best microtransaction and DLC systems ever, if you can believe that. Like, it didn't matter what kind of cosmetics you purchase, at the end of the day your character will still look like a fucking soldier. And I mean, like, there are no clown skins, or rainbows, or lasers, or jetpacks, or whatever, you know. It's just a classic modern military shooter, and is the last Call of Duty game that was released before the beginning of, let's say, the great enshittification. And now, of course, when this game was released, it was heavily scrutinized by the player base. I mean, back then we did had higher standards, especially after Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. However, now looking at it in retrospective, this game was quite alright. Maybe, you know, lacking a little in terms of the main story, you know, with that whole unification of South America against the US. But at least they were trying something new, you know, you could see the effort, or more like the attempt to make a credible story. And even in terms of multiplayer, while they added a few questionable things like the Snoop Dogg announcer or the Predator crossover, it still won't break the immersion, and in a weird way they still fell from the same universe. These things were more like, you know, small Easter eggs that you paid for rather than, you know, the slop we're getting now. When this game was released, I did have my fair share of skepticism regarding the general feel of the game as well as overall performance on PC. I remember reading reviews online and everyone would complain about this game lacking originality, optimization, and for being $60. Even though if they would release this game today for $60, everyone would say it's the best thing ever when compared to the modern shit we're getting now. And you know, it's kind of funny to see how low our standards got for the past 10 years or so. Like, everything we're getting these days is so bad that stuff that would be literally outrageous 10 years ago looks like heaven today. But yeah, back then it wasn't the case. I did watch few reviews on YouTube and looking on forums when this game was released in 2013, and the criticism made me wait. I did not purchase it right away. Eventually, like after a few months, I ended up purchasing it on PC, of course after I already played the campaign on the cracked version. Back then you could still get physical copies of the PC version. They had a disc inside the case and a Steam key, and I found it at a local shop reduced to like $20, I guess. 20 or $25, anyways, and that's why I got it. And yeah, by then they already fixed most of the optimization problems on PC, so I had quite a lot of fun with Ghosts. I had to play with randoms though, since most of my friends were still on MW3 and Black Ops 2, but yeah, I did have fun with this game. But anyways, by the summer of 2014, I believe it was June or July, I'm not exactly sure, they reduced this game on Xbox as well. I got it on the 360 for something like $20 or $25. Anyways, it was similar, I don't remember exactly. And I played it here and there, but never to the extent of MW2, you know. And now the question, is this game still playable in 2026? Well, yes and no. I mean, on PC, on the Steam version, it's completely dead, unfortunately. But if you're playing with mods like IW4X, you should still find populated servers. I'm not 100% sure though if the client still works. Last time I tried it on Ghosts, at least, was last year. But I'm gonna leave a link in the description anyways. On Xbox, on the other hand, it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, there are people still playing this game. I found this lobby, for example, right away, but I'm sure I was just lucky. I mean, it usually takes longer than, you know, 5 minutes, something like 5 to 10 minutes, and you might encounter hackers, but of course not as bad as Black Ops 2, so technically it is still playable, but depends on your luck, you know, your patience and the time of the day. But yeah, if you want to give it a go, by all means, be my guest. This game is very good in comparison to the modern shit, so yeah, if you manage to find a 360 copy for like $1 or something, you should try it. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, this game is not backwards compatible, so like if you try to play the 360 version on Xbox One, it won't work. You need an Xbox One copy for this game. The Xbox One version is also a bit more clean in terms of hackers, since this game is also not cross-gen, so I guess if you want to play it on Xbox, you should get, you know, from the beginning, the Xbox One version. As for the PS3, I have no idea, I don't own a PlayStation, so I can't test that, but it must be similar to the 360 version, and I'm sure there are already lots of videos on YouTube with this game on PS3. But anyways, I guess that's it for the video. I initially wanted to talk more about this game since I do have lots of memories with Code Ghost, but I'm kinda out of time, plus it would be irrelevant anyways. So this will be a shorter video. I just wanted to test and see what's going on, if people are still playing this game and how bad the hacker problem is, and surprisingly it wasn't that bad at all, but I still think I was, you know, just lucky. At the moment I'm primarily playing MW2 and MW3, and since like last week there is a stupid Xbox server error, like whenever I try to download my 360 profile it either fails with a credential error, or if it does manage to download the profile in the end I will get the current profile is not allowed to play on Xbox Live. It seems like now Microsoft managed to fix this problem, but it still occurs like every now and then, so I guess I'll just have to deal with it. And this is kind of concerning. These kind of errors and server issues became more and more frequent for the last few years, so I'm guessing it's a matter of time until Microsoft will simply shut down the servers. Fortunately though, we still have modded 360s, and I mean like JTAGs and RGH with stealth servers and all the good stuff, and now it's like super easy to RGH a 360, you don't even have, you know, to solder anything on the motherboard or open your console, you just need a USB thumb drive. That method used to be called bad update, but now they call it bad avatar. Maybe I will make a video about that eventually in the future, who knows, but I'm sure there are already lots of videos on YouTube explaining how to do it. But anyways, that's for another time. For now, that's it for the video. This was Call of Duty Ghosts in 2026 playing Classic Team Deathmatch. Thank you very much for watching and see you later.